Good morning, sunshines. It is April 1st, and I am here with a slightly different sort of video today. I've talked about my planner in the past on vlogs and stuff, but today I am going to do a plan with me. So what we are going to do is we are going to set up April. First, I am going to take my pens out of my pen case so that my journal will open mostly flat. This is a pen case I got from Joanne, and it had a little clip on the back, and I found that made it really bulky and I didn't like it. So I took some elasticized lace and sewed it into a little band. So we are going to open up. I'm not going to do a flip through like some people do. I will briefly talk about this at some point because I will be transferring some of this information over to a different page. But I am just going to open to the next spread in my page. And what I have been doing that has worked for me more or less the past couple months is a Dutch door system. I'm going to continue with that. But instead of having part of my week over here with appointments and stuff, there are no appointments in April. There are none, at least through the 14th, and I don't know if I think that will be lifted by the end of April. So instead of having schedule and stuff on one side and things to the checklist on the other, I am just going to do 1 week on one side, 1 week on the other, because I do still like having these days so I can write down my reading progress. And then at the top, I am planning to do a project list again. I think that really helped me out last month, even though you can see I did not follow through with it. It was nice to be able to reference this. So I think I'm going to take those elements. I'm only going to need to cut out one Dutch door because I have through the 5th in my March collection space. So this should be pretty quick. And I actually write sideways, so I'm going to turn my journal and write sideways because this is what works for me. As you can see, I am not super worried about my lines being exactly straight. Lots of people are when they plan, and I used to carry around a little ruler, but it just doesn't bother me that much if my lines aren't straight. It feels really weird not to list or put the line down the center of the page because that is what I generally do when I have appointments, but since I'm just recording little snippets, I need very little writing actually in my journal for my plan to set up to work. So I'm going to cut this. Normally I have 4 to 5 weeks of tabs, so I would cut this out, cut out the extras, keep the first one and cut out the extras, but I don't have any extras this time. So we'll just glue this down. And clearly, I'm not worried about neatness. That is not a thing that I need in my planner. A lot of people do though, and I respect that. So now up here, I'm going to number backwards, starting in the corner from the end of the month, which is the 30th, right? 30 days has September, April, June, and November, yes. And I just label the 10s above the number. And then I'll list the projects that I'm working on, which made myself a little cheat sheet for when I was writing my journal out this morning at 5 o'clock in the morning when I woke up for no reason. So on my list, I have 5 nope, 4 whips that I'm bringing in this month, which is a lot of whips. It is not what I normally bring into a month. But, you know, March was not a typical month, so I'm okay with that. It's fine. And the way that I use this up here is I put a dot under every day that I work on a project. On the day that I start the project, I put a star. And on the day that I finish a project, I put a square, just so it's really easy to see what I'm making progress on or not. I used this space once for a habit tracker, and I didn't really use the habit tracker. So I think instead I might put a quote up there. I might try a habit tracker though, because it can be a little tricky to keep track of what's going on when you don't have a schedule and don't have obligations. So I don't know about that. Also, usually I cut tabs down the side of my door system, so it's really easy to flip to what week, but obviously that's not an issue this time. And if it turns out that I need the space for appointments starting at any point in this month, I can very quickly and easily convert to a different setup or add in my line to delineate that. The only day that I know something important is going on is right here. Okay, that part was pretty boring. That's not the part that I was excited about planning today. And if that was all I was doing, I probably would have skipped it, if I'm honest. But I am going to use this spread over here and move some of this information over. So I got some of the stuff finished, but not most of it, and that's okay. This list was not a have to get everything on here completed. It was kind of a brain dump of all of the things that I would like to accomplish, but I went into that knowing that I made this list on the 14th when I did not know what the situation would progress into, and I'm okay with how much I did and did not accomplish. So I'm going to turn the page over here, and I don't know what I want to title this yet. So I do know that I want to do about 3 weeks worth of planning on this page. I'm not going to get the full month in, so I'll start numbering on today and space these out decently. Maybe I'll only get 2 weeks on here. I don't know. 2 weeks it is. I am going to draw a line on this page because I would like to easily be able to see what day of the week I'm on. And I start my weeks on Monday, so I'll be drawing my line between Sunday and Monday. Let's go back to that page. And do I still want to write these letters? So I'm evaluating my list right now. I think that I'm not going to put this on this list right now. I'm having a difficult time with the idea of writing letters, in that I don't know that I want to send non-essential mail right now. So I feel like I'm going to leave that off of my list because I don't want to be looking at that and not accomplishing that right now, but I will put these items on a different list somewhere else. So I'm going to put this on my scrap paper right now. I finished my active reads. I read 5 books. I really like having that. Since it's only 2 weeks, I'm going to say read 4 books. And I have 2 ongoing, and that is totally fine and would count toward these 4 books. It's just nice to remind myself that reading is, I find value in that, so it's okay if I spend a good portion of a day or two just reading. Bedroom floor is not quite finished being picked up and swept and mopped, so I'm going to move that over. Organize pantry. Okay, I'm going to leave this one off because I don't want to right now. And as we go through our pantry stores, because I am putting off going on a grocery shopping trip, like a big trip, for as long as possible. Our pantry is still super full. So I just don't want to do this right now. So I'm going to leave it off. Charity hats. I still want to do that. And the one that I have in progress will totally count. Clean the boys' room. Yes, that needs to be a thing that happens. I just don't want to do it. Clean out my car. I'm going to leave that off for right now. That seems like a daunting task. Finish active whips. I already have that elsewhere on my planner. I'm not going to move that over. 3 chain reaction squares. I will put that over here, which just means I have 1 to go. I don't really feel like putting a second one on my to-do right now, but I could later. 1 hour cleaning in the basement. Yes, but I'm going to break that up into 6 10-minute chunks so that I don't feel I need to go down there for a full hour. Taxes, yes, fine. I know I really need to do them. It just seems daunting to have to sit down to my computer and look at all of those numbers in the uncertainty of my job situation right now. But it's a thing that needs to be done. I need to do it. So that's fine. So those are the things that I moved over. Now I'm going to add a few more items on here. There are some videos that I want to record. There are 2 different heel tutorials I want to do, and I want to do toe up and cuff down for 9-inch circulars. So that's 8 videos that I want to record. I am okay if this goal does not happen all in one go. I'm also planning to do 2 tutorial videos for 2 at a time. So casting on cuff down and casting on toe up. Those will be really quick and easy. It will just be a matter of having the spoons to record, but those should be pretty quick. And this tutorial has been on my list of things to record since Kentucky, and I just haven't done it yet. If you have any tutorials that you would like to see, let me know, and I might have time for them. This is not my to-do, but Mara has another story that she wrote and she would like to record that. I probably won't come back to this page and add more down here because this is already a lot to do in 2 weeks. And I don't think I'm going to do more than that in 2 weeks. But I might. It's possible. There's space to add more in. I don't think it's likely, but there's space. And then this is the spread that I'm probably the most excited about. And I don't usually label things because I don't need them to be labeled, but this is going to be, oh, if I could spell minute, 10-minute tasks. I have been finding over the past several weeks, couple weeks, I don't know, how long have we even been here, that it is tricky when I have just a few minutes to decide what to do, because the thing is I don't just have a few minutes. I have whole days where I don't have things to do, specific set things to do. So it would be helpful to have, when I'm feeling that moment of I should do something, I should be productive in some way other than whatever I'm doing right now, I thought it would be a good idea to have a list that I can quickly look back to that is not something that I have to accomplish, but something that I could accomplish. This is where I'm going to put write letters and a few other things that I could just do. And the other thing too about this list is that once I accomplish a task, I won't necessarily cross it off, because most of these are repeatable tasks, but I can set a timer on my phone for 10 minutes, do one of these things, and feel like I accomplished something. Obviously, like blocking trough is something that only needs to be done once. So once that's done, it's done. And blocking each pair of socks that I finish for gifts only needs to happen once. But blocking things can happen. My bedside table needs to be cleaned all the time because it's my drop zone. So I'm excited for this page. I think I'll reference it a lot. I hope that even though this wasn't the coolest, fanciest plan with me that is out there, it is beneficial to remember things like this 10-minute task page. And if I do manage to put anything really, really exciting in my planner, I'm sure that I will put it in a vlog somewhere. I look forward to seeing you in some of my other videos. Have a good day.